That's what I hear because they're testing the tornado sirens because it's Wednesday at 10 a.m. You know what else that means? It's time for Golden VCR. Whoa, let's do it. Wait, where's the button? Here it is. Howdy, everybody. I hope you're ready for this. Kodak vidéocassette haute qualité. La marque de confiance en imagerie. This is, I think. This says Treehouse. I screened this at some point when Bella sent it in. Treehouse was apparently a children's programming block that aired on Saturdays on CTV, one of those Canadian things. So we're just gonna watch this. And I need to open the thing. Okay. We're just going to see what's up with Canada. This is a mystery tape.
Osbert Plunky? Yeah? Let's play ball. Okay, I'll go get one. What? You're a ball. Wait, come back here. No, Osbert Plunky. No, Osbert Plunky. Wait, where did you go? Osbert Plunky, you are a ball.
Hey, did you want a big ball or a little ball?
No, I don't want a ball. You want a ball. Oh, come back here.
Oh yeah, I labeled it Canadian Nick Jr. after I took a glance at it.
Never mind.
Okay, well have fun with this. Wait, what happened? Oh.
Hippie's sitting, humming a tune. The children are playing a game.
She just can't remember what the tune's called. What is that silly song's name?
La 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 la. Oh, la 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 la. La 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 la.
Hippie, normally I love your singing, but this particular song is getting on my nerves a bit.
Oh, sorry, Herbie, but I really can't get it out of my brain. It's one of those songs you can't forget.
Well, I wish you would forget about it. I'm trying to have a quick nap here. What's it called, anyway?
Oh, that's just it. I can't remember. It's going round and round and round in my mind, and I can't remember the words. It's so annoying, because I used to have a record of it.
Why are they
I
from
know
Birmingham?
It goes something like this.
I thought this was Canadian TV.
Oh,
what's that terrible noise?
We could hear it halfway up the lane.
It's your mother. She's got this song in her brain which just won't go away. She can't remember the words, only the tune. If you can call it a tune.
Oh, la, 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 la. La 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 la.
Oh, it looks like she'll never
Yeah, I'm doing my best with my
ever and ever, and we'll never get any peace.
identifying of English
I know what
accents.
it is.
Ticker, you know
I
what
guessed
it is?
Midlands,
Well, what is it then?
Ah, that would be telling, wouldn't it?
because it's not quite Yorkshire, is it?
What is it?
But it's certainly
it's
not
a sort of
southern.
hip-hop sort of song, the kind of song that sticks in your brain, the sort of song that's easy to remember.
Well,
what's it
it
called
called
then? Can't remember.
Well, a fat lot of help he was. Now listen, I've got an idea. If we could find that old record, we could play it and find out the words, and then your mother wouldn't have it on her brain all the time.
Great
idea.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as that. I've looked everywhere for it. On the floor, under the beds, in the mud bath, in the garden, up the chimney. It's just nowhere to be found. I'm sure I left it on the table last week.
Uh-oh.
What do you mean, uh-oh?
Well, Dad, I don't know how to say this, but Higgledy and I sort of actually found a record on the table last week.
Yes?
And we thought we'd play a game with it.
You found the record and you thought you'd play a game with it? What sort of game?
Flying saucers.
Flying
Like in
saucers?
Yes, we picked it up and started...
Why did they pick the most terrifying animal on Earth
And it went out of the window.
It went
for
where?
this
Out of the
children's show?
window.
Out of the window?
Oh.
Young hippos today.
Hippos are
Well,
terrifying
it
death
means It
machines.
just sort of flew out.
But I looked in the garden. I couldn't see it on the grass anywhere.
Well, that's another thing, you see. We think it went down
It's
the
true,
well.
they couldn't use
Down the
dinosaurs.
well?
Well, we'll just have to go and ask Mo and Mindy for it back. Goodness knows what they're using it for. They haven't even got a record player down there.
How do you know?
Don't be silly. Who ever heard of a mole having a record player?
Oh.
So the search is on for the record now.
But where can it have gone?
There'll be no peace in Pottermore Park until they find that.
I like this, the Little Shop of Horrors interstitial.
Thanks, Mindy. Just what the doctor ordered. A nice cup of tea. Oh, and it was a good idea of yours to use the black plastic thing that we found to make a table mat for the teapot. No more nasty drips on the table. Oh, yes. Quite right. And it makes the tea look lovely, too. I can't wait to have a sip of it.
Hello?
Oh.
Mo and Mindy?
I assume that all British television,
Oh, I nearly spilled the
children's
tea.
television programs
That's Herbie. I wonder what
focus
he wants.
entirely
Hello,
on
Herbie.
tea-based plots.
Sorry to disturb you two, but we're in a bit of a fix. Have you seen a black plastic round disc anywhere? We seem to have lost it.
A black round plastic disc.
It's got tiny grooves in it and a label with a hole
I could
in
do
the
with a
middle.
cup of tea.
Round, black.
What if I could get up and go do that and leave you to watch this?
Oh, large hole. Oh, that's it, Mindy. It's the table mat for our tea. It must belong to them. Yes, Herbie, we have it. We found it here last week. We want it back.
Yes, please. Could you put it in the bucket and we'll pull it up?
Of course. Oh, well, I suppose we'll have to give it back. We can't keep it if it belongs to someone else. Put it in the bucket, Mindy, and Herbie can pull it up.
Yes, dear.
Oh, they live in a hole
At
because
last
they're
we've
moles.
got it. And it doesn't seem to be broken either. Right, let's find out what this song is. Ooh.
Here's a song you'll never forget, never forget, never forget. Here's a song you'll never forget this song.
You might forget to brush your teeth at bedtime.
And you may not remember if the fish were fed. You maybe can't recall your mother's birthday.
But you'll never get this tune out of your head.
Here's a song you'll never forget, never forget, never forget. Here's a song you'll never forget, you'll never forget.
Oh, so one of the actors
Price
is
of humbugs could defeat your memory.
from Merseyside.
Sort who knows the face, but not
lived in
the
Birmingham.
name.
I see.
Perhaps you lose the thread when telling stories.
But still this tune goes round and round inside your brain.
Here's a song you'll never forget, never forget, never forget. Here's a song you'll never forget this song. Here's a song, a happy song. You can't go wrong, so
We're never gonna hear this song again.
here's a song you'll never forget, never forget, never forget. You can't go never forget, you'll never forget this song.
Well, so that's what it was called all along. A song you'll never forget.
That's right. I remember now. Ah, I thought it was.
Yes, all right, Ticker. Now that's all sorted out, let's...
What's
that song you're singing? I haven't heard that one before.
I don't know. I just think I heard it on the radio this morning. It's been going round and round.
Hey, something to cleanse us. All
I
right.
just can't remember the words.
This is a question for the audience collectively. Would you, while we play whatever song we're gonna play, would you like me to fast forward?
The hippos are having a wash.
But when everyone's in the bathroom at once, they find things a bit of a squash.
Oh, do you mind?
I was here first.
No, you weren't. Oh, calm down, everyone. Could you just move over just a bit, Herbie? I can't see
Hey.
myself properly.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Maybe we better move somewhere with a bigger bathroom.
But we don't.
They didn't put ads on children's television?
Of course, we're not moving.
What kind of country is this?
When your father and I got married, he promised me we'd
They
live
didn't
in a
have toy
park
commercials
in the
and
park.
Did I say that?
cigarette ads?
Yes, and this is where we live. Of course, he's done a few alterations over the years because you know your dad can't stop working.
Oh, yes. I love doing it myself, I do. Sorry if I was a bit grumpy earlier. I was getting all hot and bothered. I've still got the gardening to do, you see.
Maybe you're doing too much, dear. Take it easy for a while.
Oh, no, I'm far too busy. I've got to get our garden sorted.
We can help out, Dad. We'll do it.
Will we?
Hinkley,
Oh, yes, we will.
that will leave you some time to relax.
Me? Relax? Oh, that'd be nice. I could always finish off painting the house.
I'm trying to find a song that's,
I don't call painting the house relaxing. Decorating is hard
as-
work.
No,
Far
I'm
away from
painting a
this as we
picture
can
of the
imagine.
house. I've always fancied myself as a bit of an artist.
Yes, dear.
How about...
1, 2, salt and pepper. And
Oh, take cover, Mindy. I think it's an earthquake.
Don't be silly, dear. It's just Hinkley running around the garden.
Oh, well. Any chance of another cuppa, Mindy? I'm so thirsty.
Yeah, let's slow it down a little.
Oh, dear. What a shame.
So I'm gonna fast forward.
Last of the water up.
Sorry,
Stay
I'm
thirsty, I'm afraid.
I'm dealer's choicing this
Do you have
so that we can
to
get
do
fast
that,
forwarding.
Herbie?
So,
Let's do Don't Give Up. Slow it down a little. Ooh, this tape fast forwards fast. We're really hauling ass on this tape. We're not. I'm gonna have to stop it. Thank you, Jess, by the way, for this break. Well, I'm gonna go fully 2 hours into this tape.
In this proud land we grew up strong. We were wanted all along. I was taught to fight, taught to win. I never thought I could fail. No fight left, or so it seems. I am a man whose dreams have all deserted. I've changed my face, I've changed my name.
I can't decide which version of this music video I like better. Oh. Whoops. That didn't work.
I could be fainted. Thought that we'd be lost to go. It is so strange the way things turn. Drove the night toward my home, the place that I was born, on the lakeside. As daylight broke, I saw the trees had burned.
I've been listening to a lot of Peter Gabriel, as I've mentioned. I learned last night that he put out an album in 2011 called New Blood. It's some of his greatest hits, including instrumental tracks. With like a full, so there's like a full symphony performance, just instrumental of Don't Give Up and Digging in the Dirt and Red Rain and San Jacinto and The Rhythm of the Heat and Blood of Eden. Like, I haven't listened to that album yet, but I'm excited to know that it exists.
Got to walk out of here. I can't take anymore. Gonna stand on that bridge. Keep my eyes down below. Whatever may come and whatever may go, that river's flowing. That river's flowing. Moved on to another town. Tried hard to settle down.
Oh boy, she really.
Every job, so many
There was like a Roadrunner noise as she took off.
and no one needs. Don't give up, 'cause you have friends.
Yeah, my Peter Gabriel update is that I've really been enjoying San Jacinto. My current fixation is the first 3 tracks of Security. But I also finally convinced my father-in-law to listen to his debut album at some point, so now I'm listening to that again too.
Don't give up, you know it's never been easy. Don't give up, 'cause I believe there's a place where we belong.
Can't make me. Hey, what kind of candy is that? It's moving.
Chocolate-covered ants. Better grab one, they're going fast.
This is a really long programming block. The tape was labeled Treehouse Saturday.
There's a bite out of this one.
I had to make sure they were fresh.
So I'm assuming
What do you guys want to do?
that it's all one day and that we're getting it to like
Well, I could tell a story.
cartoons geared at slightly older kids as we go on.
I mean, tell a story in this place.
Is it about bugs and lizards and snakes and creepy stuff?
Anyway,
Well,
Have fun with this.
It's about a fairy princess who was so sweet that everything she touched turned to sugar.
It's gonna
Thanks,
get
but no thanks, Truman. It's my house. I want to tell the story.
But you've never told a story before, Dak.
So, it's my turn.
Oh, look at that
What's
dog.
it about?
A dino boy named Oliver Twerp. His mom sent him away to a school that was really strict. Oliver and the other students had to study really hard, and the mean old matron made them do other hard work, too. Like scrubbing floors.
Hey, you little twerp! You missed a spot.
Where, ma'am?
There!
She isn't just strict, she's mean.
I heard that. Speak when you're spoken to. Go stand in the corner.
Okay.
Boy, Dak, your story is so real. Yeah, really awful. It's too sad.
Does she have a bone for a
It gets sadder.
head?
The worst thing about the school was the terrible food. It was cruel. It was cruel.
You little twerps better finish every drop, chunk, or glob, or you won't get any dessert.
There's dessert?
Yes. Today we're having grilled fritters.
Ugh. This food is yucky. I don't want to eat it anymore.
Me either. Somebody should tell the matron we want better food.
Good idea, Oliver. All in favor of Oliver Twerp doing it, raise your hands.
Me?
Good luck. Nice knowing ya.
Please, ma'am, I don't want any more.
What? Why, you little twerp! How dare you! There are children going
Okay.
hungry in detention.
Is the room
Would you rather I get up and leave this playing, or fast forward it and then get up and leave?
Little Ben made me do it.
Did not.
There's no gruel in detention.
Oh, he's right. I made him do it.
And then the mean old matron took Oliver and his pal to detention.
What's detention?
Oh, how sweet. Okay. Look how fast that goes. What do we got now? Something good? It's donkey puppets. Why are the credits horizontal? I don't know what this is. Yeah, tell me more. Tell us more, Duck Over It. It's Raggedy. Is that an actual Raggedy Ann production? It is very crispy. I can't believe they don't advertise to children. Ah!
2,
2.
3.
Tots TV. I'm a tot.
Je suis une tot teeny
Tub.
tiny.
With a Tots and Tots TV. 1, 2, 3.
Lefty donkey.
Alfred Donkey. Allez, viens.
Why do they have a donkey? Is that a mule? Do they have mules in England? I assume they do. Yeah, that audio is, boy, something else. And he's dead. All right. Let's just see if there's anything else we can check in on. Just say maybe 30 minutes down the road. Place your bets. Is the audio going to be even worse later on the tape? Here we go.
Hey, boss. Wouldn't this look delightful in the asteroid?
Wait a second, Lou. That's a treasure map.
No way!
Boy, you know, Lou, with this treasure map, I will find an enormous treasure of gold and jewels and money, and it will be mine, all mine.
And mine too, right, boss?
Oh, well, maybe a little bit, Lou. But listen, I don't want to share it with anyone else, Lou. Now, let's see.
Okay.
If we take 10...
10, 11, 12.
All right, let's see if let's see how it ends, huh? This is a really long tape.
Something's going on.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm not falling for any more of your tricks, Sassy.
Still think it's all trick?
No way!
Well, what do we do now?
Stay
Investigate. What? We can't ignore this. Don't tell me you're
Okay, I'm gonna go make coffee.
chicken. Okay, come on, let's go.
There's only 20 minutes left at the most.
Wait for me, guys.
I just want to get into bed. Oh, only a few more steps.
I better stay back here in case someone sneaks up from behind.
Stop pushing me.
I'm not pushing, she's shoving. I'm not shoving, you're tripping. I am not tripping, he's stalling. What's that? What? Where? Oh, don't worry, Freddy. I'll protect you.
It was coming from in here.
Well, it isn't now, so let's go.
Good idea.
Okay, we haven't even looked yet.
There it is again.
I'm scared. Well, we've come this far. There's no turning back now.
Okay.
Wait. He's hurt. He's really hurt. Badly.
Well, so he is.
Oh, he's bleeding.
Zazzy!
It's all right, Leon. Excuse me, Mr. Cat? Are you all right? Oh, gross. What happened to you?
Those dogs finally got me. Walked right into their trap.
Okay. We found out what the noise was. Now let's go.
But...
Come on, Zazzy.
Yeah!
What a terrific day! It's gonna be the end for that cat.
Whoopee.
What's the matter? You should be happy.
I know, but he's really hurt, Leon. Poor thing.
Poor thing. That poor thing tried to make us lunch.
True, but he's in pain and there's no one to help him.
You're not suggesting that...
Mm-hmm.
But that's crazy.
Crazy or not, I can't just stand here while he needs our help.
Oh, well, if you're gonna help that cat, you can do it alone.
No. I'll help you, Zaz.
Oh, I knew I could count on you, Norbert. We'll use the first aid box in the basement, okay?
Oh, brother.
Are you coming?
Okay. But only to make sure that you two don't get into trouble.
There he is. But Zaz, how do we know it's safe?
Come on, Norbert. He can hardly move.
Hat?
My name is Zazzy, and these are my friends.
Hi.
We're here to help you.
Be careful, Zaz.
Did you hear me? We want to help.
It's really bad, isn't it?
We haven't any time to lose. I'll start bandaging. Norbert, he's going to need some food.
I've got just the thing.
Leon, will you find a blanket? He's cold and wet. Please.
Oh, all right.
When there's no one else to turn
Hold
to,
still.
when your life is filled with pain, when you're feeling low, just simply call my name. As you can see, you can depend on me. If you're feeling sad and lonely and all you want to do is hide, I'll be there for you and standing side by side. As you can see, you can depend on me. You can trust I'll stay beside you. I'll be there to lend a hand. Just have confidence, I'll help you take a stand. As you can see, you can depend on me. Who says cats and mice aren't friendly? Let's show them that they're wrong. We can share our friendship as we share a song.
Is it gonna be okay, Zaz?
Well, I don't know. He's going to need lots of rest and special care.
Okay. Enough talk about the sick. What about the sleepy? I'm tired.
Oh boy, this is perfect. The cat's gonna love it.
Well, I finished with the bell, Zazzy. When that miserable cat wants something, he can just ring.
Oh, thanks, Leon. Now, if only I could figure out what to feed him. He's been complaining about the food all week.
Well, what's wrong with cookie crumbs and apple cores? He'd rather eat mouse burgers.
Oh, Leon.
Hi.
Hey, where have you been?
Well, I just slipped the cat a get well card while he was asleep.
Alone?
Oh, that's nice.
Very nice, yes, but not very smart, Norbert. We have to talk.
Huh? Oh, what's this? Aw, aren't those guys nice? What? Wait a minute. Cats don't like mice. No! Whoa, my leg. Oh, just a little bit longer. And then I can get some real food.
Once a cat, always a cat. He can't be trusted, Sassy.
But, Leon, we've been so kind to him.
Yeah, and I gave him a card and everything.
But it's not natural for a cat to like mice. It's a very dangerous situation.
But what harm can he do? He's too sick to even move.
Well, can we at least agree not to go down alone to see the cat?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Good. Now, we need an escape route of some sort. In case.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
The library's closed now, so I'll go and see if there's a quick way out. Are you coming?
No, I'll just stay here and read.
Oh, I'll help you, Leon.
Okay, come on.
Hey, Leon, why don't we go watch a seashell story?
Oh, not now, Norbert. We haven't got time. We're supposed to plan our escape route.
Well, why don't you go work on the plan, and I'll go and watch?
No.
Yeah.
Thanks for your help, Norbert. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Yeah. Fairy tale magic, asleep in the shell, imagination, light up its spell.
One night, Chepachek the water gnome went calling on Pavla the pixie. He had always loved her, but was much too shy to say so. Pavla enjoyed his visits and all the news he brought, for she never set foot from her home in the glade. There she danced from dusk till dawn. Why, Pavla, you've worn out your slippers. Let me make you a new pair. Won't they make my feet wet? No, no. They'll be the finest dancing shoes you ever set your eyes on. You'll see. There, fit for a pixie. Oh, Chepachek, how wonderful. May I try them on? Of course. Why, they're perfect. I could dance forever in these. Meanwhile, in their palace, the Countess of Snooty said to her husband, I want you to do something for me.
Oh, no. What now?
I want you to fetch me a pair of pixie shoes so I may go dancing. Understand? Well, the Count knew his wife was not to be refused, and, as luck would have it, met Pavla in the forest.
Greetings, little pixie. I should like to buy your dancing shoes.
They're not for sale. Not for 100 ducats.
200 ducats, then. Such lovely slippers. Were they made by our town cobbler?
Oh, no. The kind he makes are as heavy as stone. I could never walk in them, let alone dance.
May I weigh one in my hand? Oh, thank you. Aye, light as a feather. Are both so light? Where did you find such a pair?
The water gnome made them for me.
Ah, then they must be very special.
And with that, the Count raced off, leaving poor Pavla with nothing.
Surprise, surprise, my dear. Look, pixie shoes.
Rather ordinary, aren't they?
Don't be fooled. Slip them on.
Count, these are a marvel. My feet feel like they're flying. Why, I could dance on the clouds, I tell you. Wee, ooh, 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 ah, whoa. Wee, call in the musicians. We must have a ball.
Come, musicians, at once. Hurry, play, play.
And play the musicians did. The Countess danced like the wind, while Pavla could only cry. Cheer up, Pavla. She won't enjoy herself for long. Come now, dry your tears. All is not lost, I promise. And indeed, Chepachek was right. Gracious Count, what kind of shoes have you brought me? My feet are bewitched. Help! Help!
the water gnome. I should have guessed.
Chepachek played and played, calling the slippers with his flute. The Countess could not escape his spell. Pavla's shoes headed for the glade.
You see, Pavla? Your slippers are yours again. Now you may dance away the night. And so shall the Count and Countess. Doesn't the Count hop nicely? The frogs would be proud of him. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Yes, and he doesn't even need pixie shoes.
Leon, where are you?
I'm over here.
Oh, did you find anything yet?
Yeah, I've got a great idea. Come on.
Okay.
Ouch! Oh, I just hate it when the bandage sticks to your fur. Ouch! Oh, almost got them all off. Boy, there, that's better. One foot in front of the other. Yeah, that's better. What? Hey, that feels fine. Not bad for a poor sick cat. Now I'm ready for a snack. But not that stuff. I'm ready for some mousy morsels. Come on, come on.
Oh, there's that cat again. What does he want now? I told Leon I wouldn't go down alone. Oh, gee, I hope nothing's wrong. Maybe I'll just check in on him at the grate.
Oh, I can hardly wait. A little mustard, a little mayo.
Mr. Cat?
Whoa.
Hello, I'm here. What do you want?
You forgot to read me my bedtime story.
Oh, all right. I'll tell you a story from up here.
But wait, I won't be able to see, the pictures. Besides, my head, it hurts.
Oh, dear. Well, hold on then. I'll be right down.
This is a great plan. Hey, Zaz. Hey, Zaz.
Where is she?
I don't know.
She couldn't have gone down to the basement, could she?
No way. Not after we agreed.
I don't know. That cat's pretty tricky.
Well, maybe she decided to meet us in the library.
Oh, maybe. You check the library, and I'll check the runway.
Yeah.
Meet you at the grate.
Okay.
Everything seems to be just fine.
Oh, please, don't leave me.
I'm sorry, I can't stay.
But my story, there's a book just over there.
Well...
Please.
Well...
Please.
Okay.
Come closer. Just a little closer so I can see the pictures.
Okay.
Oh, he got him a cheeseburger. It all worked out in the end.
The basement! Hurry, yeah!
The Lion and the Rat. Interesting title. One day, a rat walked by accident between a lion's paws. But the lion allowed him to escape unharmed. The rat thanked the lion and said, "One day I shall repay you for your kindness." The lion laughed to himself. How could such a tiny creature help me, the lord of the jungle, he thought. A few months later, the lion was out hunting in the forest when he fell into a trap. He roared in a fury and struggled with all his might. But he could not escape. All the animals heard the lion and rushed to find him. The lion asked each of them in turn for help. But they said, "How can weak creatures like us help you, the Lord of the Jungle?" And so they went away. Just then the rat came by. He saw the lion in trouble and ran to help him. He gnawed and gnawed right through the net until at last the lion was freed. So the little rat, by patience and hard work, was able to do what the lion in all his strength and rage could not.
Dinner!
The cat! Oh, Zazzy! Watch out!
Oh, you're much better now. I see.
Yes, much.
Well, I'm so glad.
Are you?
Just then the rat came by. He saw the lion in trouble and ran to help him. Well, I guess you won't be needing me anymore. I'll just be going now.
What's your rush? Won't you stay for a bite?
No, thank you. I'm not hungry.
That's too bad, because I'm starving.
Soup?
No, I had something else in mind.
Here.
I'm so glad you decided to stay.
I can really imagine this being terrifying to a child. It's basically, I don't know, Silence of the Lambs or something. I've never seen that movie, but
It's good for you.
You're a cat. You hate mice.
Did you like my get well card?
What the?
Quick, let's go!
listen, children, if someone threatens to kill you, run away. Don't try to redeem them with the power of love.
Close.
Are you okay, Zaz?
Well, I am now.
I hate to say I told you so.
Oh,
I'm not giving Bella more points for getting Victoria.
But
Again.
But what, Zaz?
I can't help thinking that he'd let me escape.
Oh, well, maybe he did. But one thing's for certain. The cat...
You already got points for Victoria.
Right.
Right.
And anyway, the capital of British Columbia is Vancouver. I heard it from a videotape, and I have not subsequently heard any contrary information from any other videotape. So it's Vancouver. Talking about my generation of cats and mice. Chepicek, the water gnome from Czechoslovak television. I loved Chepicek. Oh God. It's a CGB rowing a canoe. This feels very Canadian. We're at 6 hours and 1 minute.
It's time to rumba on Rimbas Island. It's time to shake on Rimbas Island. It's time to play on Rimbas Island.
Yeah, well, enjoy however long you got here.
On Rimbas Island. Rimba's Island on Treehouse. Weekdays.
Oh, it's weekdays. It's not now. Some cursed audio.
Oh, that looks nice.
Oh, not this again.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi, Osbert Plunky. How are you?
I'm good. Tansy! Deborah's here. Deborah's here? Yeah.
Hi, Tansy.
Deborah. Hi, look what we found.
Hey, I was just looking for those. Those are my cookie cutters.
They're what? Oh.
Yeah.
There's something really off-putting about an adult woman
Cookie dough using a recipe from
playing
my
a small child.
Critters. And it's published by Somerville House, and it's full of lots of great cookie recipes and ideas for using those cookie
It
cutters.
just makes me think of the movie Sybil.
Why don't you come over and help me roll out the dough?
Yeah! We're gonna have cookies. We're gonna have cookies.
Here you go.
What do I do?
You just go like right like that.
Okay. Like that?
That's right. That's very good. That's great.
Is that hard to do?
Good. Now it's time for us to roll out some cookies and cut out some cookies.
Oh, good.
Which animal shapes would you like to cut out?
A
What do
bird.
you think? A bird?
Yeah,
Oh,
I like the piggy.
Oh,
the
that's
pig?
good. Yes.
I
Okay,
find
that's
a
fine.
bird. Yeah, I want a piggy cookie.
Okay, and a pig for Osbert.
Jess, thank you so much.
What do I do?
Okay.
That's 1,000 bits from Jess for a chat choice
Right like
song.
this.
Silverton we can no longer play because it gets
And
copyright
there's
claimed.
a pig.
That's amazing.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah.
Do you want to try, Tansy?
Yeah, I'll do the bird. Put it like that.
That's right.
Push it down.
We can play any Peter Gabriel song as long as it's not from that live concert, but we can't play Silverton. Oh, 1-2 fire truck? That's a good one.
No. It's not time to eat them yet. We have to bake them in the oven first. And even before that, we have to decorate them. So let's put them down here.
Yeah.
And I brought along some egg wash using a recipe from the book. And here.
Eat raw dough. Eat raw dough.
A little green piggy.
A little green piggy.
Could I do my bird?
Here you go. Here's the red.
Chicken soup with rice is also no longer
Swab.
Yeah, put it on a bird.
playable on stream because of...
I'm gonna put it on.
Oh, that's
I mean, I could just stop... I could stop making VODs. We could say to hell with it. To hell with copyright. We do what we want.
So now can we eat them? Now can we eat them?
No, they have to go in the oven first, and they have to.
But yeah, the Carole King, Maurice Sendak songs are
And then when they come
are
out, we can eat them.
Does that take a long time?
No, we'll just
block the VOD and Content ID now.
Put them in the oven.
take
Yeah,
them
put
away
them in the
here.
oven. And you know what? We're gonna watch a show.
Oh, great.
And then when we come back, will they be ready?
Yes, I think they will.
Oh, good. Here comes the show.
You ready? You ready to hit the bricks?
Mighty machines, big and mighty machines, working for you, doing mighty things there. Mighty machines, lifting and pulling and flying so high, building a building.
Oh, look, there was so little tape left. This is a double. This is a 2-for-1.
Mighty machines, hear them roar, watch them soar, sit right down and see. There are stories to enjoy for every girl and boy. Mighty machines, big and mighty machines, working for you, doing mighty things there. Mighty machines, working for you, doing mighty things there. Mighty machines.
In the goddamn fort.
Oma, you don't know where I can find an apartment, do you?
Why, sure, Joe. How about the King's Arms?
King's Arms? Where's the King's Arms?
Around the Queen's ass.
I mean, really? Really?
It's...
One, two, five truck, 3, 4, 5 truck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 truck.
How do y'all feel about Michael Jordan's Playground?
If you listen to the bell, you sure can tell it's a fire alarm. 1, 2, 5 fighters, 3, 4, 5 fighters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fighters. In a fire truck, in a fire boat, firefighters. Flying through the air or running through the smoke, firefighters. And if you ever been saved, then you know they're brave firefighters. In a 1, 2, 5 truck, 3, 4, 5 truck, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So this tape was sent in by Joshy D very recently. It's a behind-the-scenes look at the making of Michael Jordan's Playground, which is, I guess, a music video, maybe? I don't know. It's from 1991.
Jump on board and away she goes. It's a fire truck. Pull up the ladder and drag.
And the thing I find really funny about this, it's from 1991, like before digital imagery was really much of a thing. And look how JPEG-y and pixelated it is. It's hilarious. Joshy D also pointed out to me that they just like painted in a hand. Like his hand was cut off in the photo or something, and so they just MS painted it in here. Look at the pixels on it. Jump. It's really a work of art. Behind the scenes. Behind the scenes with Michael Jordan.
Hey kids, if you want some fun
oh my God, this clip is so long.
Be sure to look for more of my Hard Hat Harry adventure video.
Behind the scenes with Michael Jordan. Oh, and now it's frozen on Hard Hat Harry. Let me fix that. Okay. Behind the scenes with Michael Jordan. Everyone knows Michael Jordan for his gravity-defying dunks, his dazzling drives, and for flubbing his lines. Now everyone can see the other side of the world's greatest basketball player as we take you behind the scenes on the set of the best-selling video, Michael Jordan's Playground. Spend time with Michael and see a side of him that few get to see, dancing around, clowning with the crew as he prepares for his acting debut. Visit with Jordan on the set of his Playground. It's the next best thing to spending the day with Michael himself. Yeah, this is from 1991, before Space Jam, before... I mean, I think the Bulls were pretty big at this point, but, you know, not as big as they were in 1996. Hey, Kiwi Lee, congrats on winning bingo. I will give you some points here in just a second. Let's get the tape going here. Michael Jordan's Playground. Michael Jordan doesn't know how to clown. Congrats on winning bingo to Kiwi Lee Scipio. Here you go. 1,000 points. Around the time that Space Jam was filmed, Michael Jordan lived in Birmingham, Alabama. One of my friends lived down the street from him. He was my richest friend.
LA, Hollywood. Roll sound.
Sorry, I should get that NBA logo because I don't have it in the collection. This is an officially licensed CBS Fox home video release brought to you by the National Basketball Association. And you know what? Shit, I had the volume turned down because Treehouse was super loud. Let's take that again. Entertainment, entertainment, entertainment.
L.A., Hollywood.
Roll sound.
This is not the type of arena where you usually find Michael Jordan. And no, this is not a Chicago Bulls team picture.
God, he's so young.
Cast of Michael Jordan's Playground, Jordan's second entry into the home video market, and his debut as a Hollywood leading man. Showcasing
They were really trying to make
Michael stepped into
a Michael Jordan acting career happen
portrayed a guardian angel
long before Space Jam, huh?
magical world.
Come to my playground where anything is possible.
Helping to make this remarkable project possible was a talented crew of more than 100 television and film professionals who collaborated in creating a new concept in sports video.
MJ was born in '63, so he was 28 years old
of its kind
when this was made.
Of course, no Jordan video would be complete without a spectacular collection of high-flying highlights.
All the way to the rack. Oh, powerhouse! Hold on, folks. Buckle up. Oh!
Right side cuts back left down the lane. Oh! And up down!
But in this video, Michael does more than jam.
Nice shot. I see you've been practicing.
Taking some bold steps into
God, this was also the era of like
played a side of himself
the Scottie Pippen FMV game.
Until now.
There was a lot of multimedia experimentation with sports people.
So join us as we take a look behind the scenes into the making of Michael Jordan's Playground. Michael Jordan's Playground is part fantasy, part fantastic action.
Oh yeah, he always did that tongue thing.
Its highlights paint a vivid picture of one of the NBA's most dynamic performers.
Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move by Jordan!
I mean, he is one of the greatest professional basketball players who's ever lived.
Off the spin to the scoop. Accident steal. He lobs for Jordan for the
A compelling chronicle of his on-court exploits. It covers every aspect of Jordan's game.
Love that Sears branding all over the arena.
Jordan has been scoring champion, Defensive Player of the Year, League MVP, and finally, an NBA champion. But his success reaches far beyond the basketball court. In 1989, he took the home video market by storm.
Dreams of flight.
His first home video, Come Fly With Me, sold an incredible 500,000 copies, setting new records in sports home video sales. It also set a lofty precedent for his follow-up tape, Michael Jordan's Playground.
Multiple of my friends had the poster in their bedroom of Michael Jordan, like,
this is where it
in the air.
With one kid alone on the playground.
Sailing up to the hoop.
This is where you fall in love with the game. This is where the fantasy begins.
Taking its story from Michael's own life, this ambitious sequel involved a full-blown Hollywood production.
Hey, burning daylight here.
Project has first a little story, a little narrative.
Wait, Zack Snyder.
Michael befriends this kid who was just cut from his high school team, similar to what really happened to Michael.
I want to see you guys here next year.
That's Zack Snyder.
I bet
wait.
you Michael Jordan never even got cut.
No, that had an H.
Incredibly enough, Jordan did get cut from the Laney High School team. The memory of that setback and how he overcame
That's
it.
Zack with an H, Snyder.
The negative of being cut is very evident and very obvious, but sometimes you have to dig deep inside the negative to pull out the positive. And for me being cut, I think it really helped my determination to bounce back and prove myself to the coach and to people that I can be better than what people expect. Nice shot. I see you've been practicing.
Young actor Tyron Turner plays Walt Preston, who faces what he believes are insurmountable odds in trying to make his high school team.
It was just last year. I hustled and I hustled. I played hard as I could, but it didn't matter. I still got cut. And he kind of like re-inspired me, you know, like, don't give up. Anything's possible.
Yeah, maybe they are better. Yeah, maybe you will get cut again tomorrow. But I don't think, after all this time and practicing and playing, that deep down in your heart.
Oh, that is the Zack Snyder.
Don't be afraid. Go find out.
And I take on that attitude.
I remember watching. I've seen Space Jam a few times, including when it first came out.
And next thing you know, I make the next team that next year.
The thing I remember about Michael Jordan's appearance in Space Jam is not his acting.
All the time, they see it, they hear it.
When I think about Space Jam, I don't think Michael Jordan was a great actor.
See it visually and see a kid actually disappointed from being cut, and how I can help him relax and help him create the determination to go back and succeed and do better. And I think that's what the video is going to do.
Move your right foot out a little bit.
Do you want it in the shot or you don't want it in the shot?
To create the dramatic scenes, Michael took part in 3 days of intense production. For most athletes, this would be a daunting challenge. But Jordan is no stranger to the camera. The veteran of countless commercials, Jordan is an accomplished TV performer and has become the world's most recognized athlete.
Look, Mom, I can fly.
You better eat your Wheaties.
So this is very clearly like part of a concerted push on the part of Michael Jordan's agents, publicists, whoever.
If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
Mr. Jordan, do you
Sorry.
Don't do drugs. If you're doing it, stop it. Get some help.
Mr. Jordan, do you have something you'd like to share with the rest of the class?
Yeah, don't be stupid. Stay in school.
Do what Michael Jordan says.
Stay in school!
But even his commercial experiences couldn't prepare him for the grueling demands of Hollywood, a place Michael is happy to visit, but has no plans of making his home.
Hey, Mike.
To touch on it a little bit in commercials and videos like this is enough for me. I don't know if I could carry a day schedule like what I have to do in the videos for a long period of time. I mean, it's too demanding.
Michael?
Yeah.
Can we get you to stand right in here?
Michael, would you be comfortable with your hand higher?
Then right after we finish this, we're going to do then that last shot of you and Walt playing one-on-one with the sign.
Oh, when he was wild? But it's a good experience, I must admit. I mean, to see how other people actually make a living. And, you know, the entertainment business is so amazing. And you never really know what's encountered in putting together a series or a TV show or a movie. And to do these little skits or whatever, it really gives me an appreciation for what these people do.
This is where you're getting ready to play one-on-one with him. You're like, to take his rebound, and you're like, okay, it's time to play. That's not what you say, but that's the attitude when you walk out to him. And then you hand him the ball, and that's when you go like this. Okay, here we go.
Ready?
Yep, do it again.
Oh, no, you got the action first, huh?
Yeah, he was saying his line back there. Okay, action.
Maybe I kick a couple back there for you, Mike.
Believe it, Walt. It'll happen.
Michael's ability made a quick impression on his new coach.
Oh, he's really good. It's actually quite good. He has his, you know, he's so natural that everything is just like easy with him.
On the court, he is simply unstoppable. But on the set, he did show a weakness.
Yeah.
Learning the dialogue. I mean,
It's a 20-minute behind-the-scenes
trying to
featurette
and memorize
for what is probably a 20-minute short.
So I can pick out the meaning from what the quote is saying.
And it's clearly for.
I can put it in my own words and hopefully.
It's purely promotional.
Meaning that was intended.
But there was such a fan base in 1991. Like,
thank you.
Plenty of people that would be really, really jazzed to see this.
Thank you.
I mean, he really wanted to feel it. He wanted it to be who he was. And I think when he saw that there were lines that really pertained to his personal history, he really picked that up.
I know. I'm still trying to get my own words and get the feel of it. This is practice, isn't it? Hello, that's for bloopers.
But no matter what his role or his goal,
that's for the blooper reel.
Same drive and determination.
I took a few lessons about 2.5 summers ago, and it really helped me deal with my inner personality and how to bring it out in certain situations to fit the mood or fit the scenes. Yeah, let's do it one time.
Okay, let's do it.
If I mess it up, I mess it up. I know you like to play alone. You don't mind if I shoot with you, do you? I take that as a yes. I must admit, if I hadn't had those lessons, I think it would have been a much tougher situation for me, but I think it was very helpful for me.
While Michael is comfortable in the spotlight, it always helps to have a strong supporting cast.
Oh my God, the hair.
What's up, y'all? We are the Full Force All-Stars, and we want you to come to Michael's playground.
Anything is possible.
A group of talented musicians, the Full Force All-Stars, contributed not only to the soundtrack, but also on the court. They played the part of the rough and tough high school players who stood in the way of main character Walt Preston as he tried to make the team.
I feel bad because when I talked to Joshy D about watching the tape we watched last time, the 90s workout tape, he was like, yeah, Michael Jordan is whatever. I don't care that much about that. But I thought the workout tape and the fishing thing would be fun.
All-Stars and issued a brash off-camera challenge.
He don't look like he could really...
But I wish he was here. I should have waited. He always has such insightful commentary on the early 90s.
I'm going to try to take him easy because he got his new sneakers on.
You know what the whole purpose of this video is for B5 of Full Force to teach Mr. Jordan a lesson.
I just wanted to pick the energy up after
But this was a very
Up at
short
Hell.
class, and as you might expect, it was Jordan who did the schooling, as he taught the All-Stars the difference between fantasy and reality.
This tape could have just been 20 minutes of footage of Michael Jordan dunking on people who aren't that good at basketball. God, it's almost like watching Michael Jordan play basketball is way more entertaining than watching Michael Jordan try to act.
So you probably won't see the Full Force All-Stars joining Michael in the NBA, but luckily for them, they do have some other skills to fall back on.
Whatever happened to the Full Force All-Stars?
Involvement in this project is that we're bringing together the music. We have a song that we wrote especially for this project.
Oh wow, Full Force is
which is a positive song about.
It's a hip hop and R&B group. It's kind of a collective from Brooklyn that's been around since 1976.
But also its central message, and it was turned into the music video finale.
Unless that's a different group.
Not only the usual members of Full Force, but guest appearances by Lisa and Cheryl Pepsi Riley, along with another guest vocalist making his music video debut.
Cheryl?
I've had many.
Okay, I really regret not saving this for
but I was very shy
Joshy D.
Doing certain things like that because a lot of people.
Because Lisa and Cheryl Pepsi Riley are names I have not heard, and I'm very intrigued. And I wish I knew more.
We gotta find out where it comes through.
full force came to do the songs for the video, and they wanted me to act onto the theme song of the video. And I love the theme song. I think it's great. And I think it's going to be a hit.
And Mike, do your hand like this,
They talked me into it. They got me out there. They got me relaxed. They started teaching me moves. And before you know it,
Cheryl Pepsi Riley.
relax.
Her legal name is Cheryl Bridget Riley,
I mean, I felt like
but
I
she
was
has
back
the nickname
home
Pepsi
in my
with
home.
2 eyes.
Friends that just came over and we're totally acting crazy.
And her Wikipedia page does not explain why she is called Pepsi with 2 eyes.
Okay, here we go. Stand by, please.
Oh, come on, tracking. You can do it, tracking.
As usual, Jordan's performance drew rave reviews.
The ladies are gonna love this because they'll get to see him.
Cheryl Pepsi Riley.
And then they'll get to see him dance.
Ever since the day that I was born, a voice would say to me, so I always knew just what I had to do. It was burning in my heart.
You said put your arms right.
Oh no, they do the
That's a good question. Let me see if I can find out.
He has natural rhythm, so I mean, whatever we tell him to do, they'll just do.
So you can run and hide if you want to. Me, I'm gonna break right through. No matter what you do, remember.
He has his thing, that's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
He's got, and he picked up real good too.
And I sing just like them too, you know?
Yeah, he does, really, really.
We taught him everything he knows.
Do one.
Yeah, what I'm doing. Oh, I got a sore throat.
I can't hold back any longer. It don't stop. Baby, take my heart into your head.
I like everything about this guy, except for one thing. His shoes.
Yeah, Michael Jordan starring as Superman in the Justice League with LeBron James as Darkseid. That was rejected due to the safety system. They don't tell you what exactly it was.
No rhythm. But I'm learning.
You can run and hide if you want to. Me, I'm gonna break my through. No matter what you do, it's possible. Keep on getting stronger. Remember, it's possible.
This is some good 1989 R&B though.
Check this out. We was playing before.
I mean, this is like...
And Michael dunked it on me, okay? And I felt really bad until I saw him dance. Now I feel real good about myself.
We feel real equal. Real equal.
You can run and hide if you want to. Me, I'm gonna break right through.
Are we going through the same steps, or we just gonna basically be moving in the back? What do you want
Moving
to
in
do?
the back, but mostly concentrating on the singing. All right?
While Michael may have begun this project with some rookie jitters, once the shooting began, he quickly assumed the air of a veteran actor. And like in any production schedule, one of the biggest challenges was dealing with constant delays amid the pressure of meeting deadlines. But as the show's star,
The air. He's essenced with veteran actor
and the crew loose,
and other natural flavors.
it was a role for which he was well suited.
Yeah, my personality is that I'm such an outgoing person that after a period of time, I can adjust to the cameras, I can adjust to people, and I can be more relaxed.
Go bogey, bogey!
Yeah. Well said.
Started yelling at me just like my boss.
I wish Joshy D were here because the tone of this, like the clearly promotional.
But of course I had to stay and work.
Wow, Michael really turned out to be a great actor. All this stuff, it reminds me a lot of like the New Kids on the Block or Vanilla Ice biographies that Joshy D
That's what I know about the man.
has read to us as a Christmas tradition.
Great guy. I thought he'd be much more.
It's that same exact like
standoffish.
Obviously, empty, fluffy bullshit.
There you go.
Promotional tone.
He's really, just right at home. Made us all feel right at home with him. I joking with my crew and myself.
All right, ready? You got a lot of trash going on about right now.
His whole demeanor on camera is really likable and real smooth. I mean, he's being himself, He's not really portraying any kind of role.
Like Michael Jordan as an actor is the product here.
I don't know how easy it was for him, but it looked easy from our perspective.
All right, now we got two opposite ends of the hair spectrum right here.
Like before, after. Before, after.
I don't think that he'll become Hollywood per se because he's so down to earth and he was so good with everybody. It wasn't like I'm Michael Jordan and I'm the star and you all are peasants.
Oh yeah.
It's
I learned a lot from these ladies. A lot.
Oh, Michael's great, man. I worked a lot of shows, done a lot of people.
Oh, JJ.
My all-time funnest show.
JJ, you can do a lot of things, man.
JJ, peel that paint off. Scrape it off.
He's really good, surprisingly enough. You'd think a lot of athletes wouldn't be that good, but he works hard at his lines.
Give us a whole tape about JJ.
And most of all, he has fun doing what he's doing.
Where you going, Walt? I didn't get that.
Though Michael certainly has no plans to change careers, he didn't hurt his reputation as one of the NBA's most versatile entertainers.
All right, I'm sorry. I messed up from the beginning.
Well, I think the message is that you find a lot of
I got the
kids
headset.
who, have disappointments in their lives, and I was one of them. But I think I'm a person that always looks through negative.
Oh, Cheryl Pepsi Riley.
I think it's an important message. I think, the message of just try, be yourself, try, bring out what's inside of you. It doesn't matter if you win or lose as long as you try and do your best.
That's a great message, Zack Snyder.
I think what Michael is trying to do with this particular video is show that, he persevered past early rejection and didn't let that deter him from being all that he wanted to be, and that's what was a professional basketball player.
Okay, yeah, but he did let
definitely.
sucking at baseball deter him from his dreams of becoming a baseball player.
If you put your mind to it, you can do it.
I grew up in Birmingham, Alabama, when Michael Jordan briefly decided to play for a minor league team. And it was great for the team. The crowd loved him. We were all so happy to have him. And he was not very good at baseball. But he's still probably the most famous Birmingham Barons player in the team's history. There's a giant poster of him at the ball field. The Full Force All-Stars, Cheryl Pepsi Riley, Sony Music. Beautiful. Give it up for Joshy D for sending that one in. That was another great early 90s time capsule. Let's see now. Are y'all ready to go to Alaska and experience Skagway? I think we should do that. This is one from a thrift store locally that Haley picked up for us. Skag. Nope. Alaska. Inside Passage, Alaska, New Millennium. Experience? Ketchikan, Sitka, Glacier Bay, Juneau, Haines, and Skagway. Featuring the White Pass and Yukon Railroad, Gold Panning, White Pass Railroad, Soapy Smith Story, The Days of 98 Show, the historic Skagway Brewery, the majestic Golden North Hotel, and scenic aerials. Inside Passage, Alaska takes you on a magnificent journey. Explore colorful ports from Ketchikan to Skagway. Thrill to close-up brown and black bears, orca and humpback whales, eagles, seals, and sea lions. Experience cruising wild Alaska, a fascinating, memorable video. The best record of your journey to Alaska's Inside Passage. Yeah, we've had quite a few trains, quite a few boats, quite a few Alaskas, but they all somehow turn out to be their own unique thing. So I don't know exactly when this is from. It does say Millennium Edition, and it has a website address on there, so I'm assuming it's from 99 or 2000. So let's check it out. I'm assuming, whoops, sorry. I'm assuming this is like, maybe, Glenwood Towers Library. So that's just a really janky system of recording when it was checked out, I assume. If it works, it works.
In Alaska's vastness, the Inside Passage is a slender jewel gracing the state's southeastern corner. It sparkles with adventure. And Alaska's Inside Passage is huge. 10,000 miles of coastline. 10 million acres of forest. 1,000 islands. And a wilderness home to Alaska's wildlife. Cruise ships skirt the steeps that dwarf them as they glide through deep water passages cut by a millennium of glaciers. Come aboard and explore the wonders of the Inside Passage, that 1,000-mile journey from southern British Columbia to Skagway.
Oh, British Columbia.
On the map of Alaska, the southeastern part of the state is called the Panhandle. This thin ribbon of coastal land and countless islands showcases misty fjords, wilderness sublime. Ketchikan, gateway city to Alaska. Historic capital of Russian America, Sitka. Glacier Bay, wild land of glaciers and whales. Cosmopolitan state capital, Juneau. Haines, haunt of eagles. And Gold Rush Skagway with trains, historic buildings, and gateway to adventure. Over a century ago, well before the gold rush to the Yukon, sightseers sailed up the Inside Passage on steamships. Today's cruise ships are floating cities, a far cry from the turn-of-the-century steamers. One thing hasn't changed: the natural beauty of Alaska. At the dawn of a new millennium, much of the Inside Passage is still wild and untamed. Misty Fjords National Monument is such a place. This wilderness, as big as the state of Delaware, is a masterpiece of glacial creation, a perfect fjordal system. Sheer rock walls, sculpted by glaciers, rising from 1,000 feet beneath the water surface and soaring 3,000 feet, are taller than the granite cliffs of Yosemite National Park in California. Falls cascade into the sea. Though we are at sea level, there is a feeling that we are cruising on an alpine lake and the roof of the world. bears wander along the shore, while eagles soar above. Bearded mountain goats clamber on the rocky heights. Not far from Misty Fjord's wild beauty is Ketchikan. The town's claim to be the largest collection of totem poles is not just hype, it's highly visible. At the Totem Heritage Center, valuable specimens from nearby Tlingit, Haida, and Tsimshian villages were rescued and preserved. North of town, more than a dozen poles stand among the trees of a forest glade in Totem Bight State Historical Park. Here, ancient Indian art was reconstructed by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the 1930s on the site of an old fishing village. A few miles south of town is Saxman Village, a safe keep of Tlingit traditions. Each pole tells its story. Totem pole carving is found nowhere else in the world except among the coastal tribes of Washington, British Columbia, and Alaska. Poles were carved to commemorate special events in the life of the family or tribe. At Saxman, Native American craftsmen are keeping alive the once suspect art of pole carving. They're teaching it to young artists who will carry on. Though many of Alaska's Native Americans are programming themselves for the digital age, they're still powered by their Indian past.
What a strange sentence. Though many of Alaska's Native Americans are programming themselves for the digital age.
And it can't help being boastful. Ketchikan is no exception. Its boosters proclaim it the Gateway City and Alaska's first city, for it is the first stop cruising up the Inside Passage. Alaska's fourth largest city also calls itself the rain capital. True, the big rain gauge on the dock has recorded over 200 inches of rain in a year, but there are other areas in Alaska that get more rain than that. Fronting the sea, the city is 5 miles long and 2 blocks wide. Many of its buildings and some of its roads are supported by pilings. One picturesque corner of the city is Creek Street. This is Dolly's house. Dolly was queen of the red light district. It's furnished just as it was during Dolly's heyday, the result of a look but don't touch restoration. The red lights were shut off for good in 1954, but Dolly stayed on, living in her home until her death. From the wooden walks of Creek Street, you can still see salmon swimming past Dolly's house on their way up Ketchikan Creek.
This tape has some very strange background music choices.
Fishermen came up.
I don't know if this is their, like, prostitution music.
Known in its cannery heyday as the salmon capital of the world, commercial fishing is still big in Ketchikan. Today, the fabled fishing waters of the Inside Passage attract sport fishermen.
Speaking of We Sing in
The reward
Sillyville,
for fishing is easily seen. Salmon and halibut.
I still don't have nut.
Trophy-sized.
One of these days we gotta get nut. That's a big fish.
Staying at a comfortable fishing lodge is a far cry from the Indian fish camps. In the 1800s, the prize was not fish, but fur. It began when Russian explorer Vitus Bering left Russia and sailed across what is now known as the Bering Strait in 1741. On his heels came fur traders and missionaries who turned Alaska into the eastern frontier of the Tsar's empire. Russia coveted the soft, luxurious fur of the sea otter. Tsarist Russia appointed Alexander Baranov as governor of the Russian-American Company. His job was to send the fur trade riches to Russia's royal treasury. He called his former capital New Archangel. Today, it's called Sitka. Snow-capped Mount Edgecombe looks down on one of the most beautiful locations for a city in Alaska. It's easy to see why Baranov selected this site as his capital. When Los Angeles was no more than a dusty little mission, Sitka was a bustling trade center, its commercial enterprise reaching south to California and west to Hawaii. Under Baranov, the colony flourished, but not without struggle. Angry Indians destroyed his first settlement of Redoubt St. Michael.
I only know of Arkhangelsk from GoldenEye for N64.
Later, in this totem-populated forest, now part of the Sitka National Historic Park, booming Russian cannons blasted the Sitka Klingits in a bloody battle. Unbowed, the Klingits withdrew when they ran out of bullets. When the Indians returned 20 years later, they found that Baranov had built sturdy blockhouses.
Do we want nut or do we want butt? I'm so confused now.
In its cathedral, named St. Michael, Sitka's Russian past vibrates with life. This is a working cathedral, seat of a bishop who oversees a network of Alaskan parishes and backwoods.
A network of Alaskan parishes?
In 1966, it burned to the ground. Lovingly rebuilt exactly as the original, it stands proudly in the center of the city.
But
the builder of Sitka's
why not?
Cathedral between 1844 and 1848 was one of Alaska's 4 saints. Here you can visit his house. Father Veniaminov was a brilliant priest who later became the head of the Orthodox Church in Russia. In Alaska, the faith of the old Russia is rooted deeply in a soil spiked with totem poles.
That is, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Gorobeniki, which is the folk song that was used in Tetris. Oi, polna, polna, korovushka jest, isici parsha.
The dancers group is keeping alive the folk heritage. Like vodka, their dancing has a Russian kick with an Alaskan twist. All the dancers are women. In 1867, on this hill, site of Baranov's castle, Russian America became American Alaska. When Imperial Russia lost interest in it, it sold Alaska to the United States for $7.2 million, just under 2 cents an acre. Sitka is a center for art and music.
Fucking Seward, that idiot.
Spirit. When it comes time to retire, qualified Alaskan residents come here, to the Pioneer Home. The first Pioneer Home in the state was built in Sitka. Here at the Alaska Raptor Rehab Center at Sitka, battered owls and eagles can retire too. The bald eagle was hunted in Alaska until statehood. Now protected, injured eagles are nursed back to health and let loose. Others, too badly crippled, are cared for until they die. Wild eagles find the shoreline of the Inside Passage an ideal home. More eagles are found in Alaska than all the other states combined. East of Sitka is Admiralty Island, called the Fortress of the Bears. These bears feed on abundance of salmon that swim upstream to spawn. The brown bear is huge, up to 1,200 pounds. They are the undisputed kings of Alaska's wild lands. This wilderness spectacle of raw, untamed land, Indians hailed as Thunder Bay because of the shattering sounds made by the calving glaciers. We call this awesome place Glacier Bay National Park. It is a highlight of any visit to Alaska. 2 centuries ago, this vastness was still locked within an Ice Age prison. English explorer Captain George Vancouver's way was blocked by ice in 1794. Then the brittle lock cracked. Out of the great valleys, out of immense inlets, they withdrew back to their mountain home. It was a glacial retreat unparalleled in recorded history. 80 years after Captain Vancouver attempted entry, John Muir, founder of the Sierra Club, paddled 30 miles into the bay and viewed the barren landscape. He used his findings to prove glaciation had formed the rock walls of Yosemite. The retreating glaciers left a land stripped bare. Life is coming back to the shores of Glacier Bay. Hardy colonizing plants establish footholds. Returning birds, kittiwakes nest on sheer cliffs. Comical puffins, tufted and horned.
Don't call him comical. He's very sensitive.
And lumbering brown bears, all finding home in the newly minted land. Native Americans have returned as well. Descendants of Tlinggets who fled the Ice Age centuries ago now dance on the shores of Glacier Bay. Tidewater glaciers still reach the sea here, massive walls of ice touching the water, calving great hunks of ice. Adventurous kayakers paddle near the face of the glaciers, but not too close. They share the ice-cold waters with harbor seals. On the floating ice, the seals are safe from their enemy, the orca or
seals.
killer whales.
Did someone say seals?
Glacier Bay's best-known whale is the humpback whale. Each summer, they arrive here from their winter home in Hawaii with one purpose in mind: eating. "90 miles away, we're placed smack in the 21st century. This is Juneau. Clinging to the mountains alongside Gastineau Channel, there are no highways to Juneau. Only access is by ship or plane. But once you're here, you're aware of being in the state capital. More than half the people who live here work for the government, federal and state. Here is a town that is great for walking. Along its streets are reminders of each phase of the state's rowdy history. In the hills that flank downtown, Alaska's U.S. statehood is landmarked by the governor's mansion. Home of Alaska's first federal judge, the House of Wickersham recalls the U.S. territorial period in Alaska. Here's a replica of a log church, a proud reminder of the pioneering era. St. Nicholas Russian Orthodox Church marks the state's Russian heritage. Building began in 1894, nearly 30 years after Russia sold Alaska to the United States. The church still holds services, almost identical to those in Russia. It is the oldest standing original Russian Orthodox church in southeast Alaska. Exhibits tracing the state's history are displayed at the Alaska State Museum. An outdoor museum of sorts is the Silver Bow Mining District. Juneau is built on gold. It's even named for a gold miner, Joe Juneau. Over decades, miners pulled out a motherlode. They piled tailings from the mines along the water's edge, and that land became the foundation of Juneau. The cruise ships that tie up along the wharf and anchor in the channel discharge adventure-seeking visitors.
Ghosts are 200 golden VCR fun points or 200 bits. Either one.
Flying in a float plane is an open door to exploring Juneau's backcountry ice field. The snow falling here in 1 year would cover a 10-story building. This ice field, one of the largest in Alaska, pushes out 38 major glaciers, a frozen wilderness covered by a blanket of ice hundreds of feet deep. A reminder of when North America was smothered with sheets of ice miles deep. One of the ice field's cold fingers ends just 13 miles from downtown Juneau, the beautiful Mendenhall Glacier. The towering face of Juneau's drive-up glacier is visible from the end of the road. Meltwater running out of the Mendenhall Glacier offers a wild ride to the sea. At the Dipek Fish Hatchery, Alaskans learn about the life cycle of the salmon without getting wet. Up the Lynn Canal from Juneau is one of the few southeastern Alaskan cities accessible by road, Haines. Haines is a town sheltered by the Chilkat Mountains, with Lynn Canal, the longest glacial fjord in Alaska, at its waterfront. Some of its buildings are old, Victorian. Fort William H. Seward, built in 1908, was the first permanent U.S. military installation in Alaska. Others are reconstructions of time-honored Indian dwellings. A Tlingit tribal house. Haines exemplifies Alaska's frontier way of life. Haines is community, whole, organic, rooted in the Native American soil. Mythical spirits of the first inhabitants here, wind and sun, eagle and trickster raven, they're a part of community. The Chilkat dancers keep alive the tradition.
This reminds me of Spirit of the Mask, which was a much better presentation of native culture of the Pacific Northwest and Alaska. This one's just kind of like, yeah, there's Indians and they have like, you know, tree and spirit and shit. Moving on.
Artists, of whom Haines boasts many, working in wood, in silver, mine those Indian myths for inspiration. Eagles figure prominently in Alaska's art. Every winter, an unusual eagle convention occurs upstream from Haines.
I think they like eagles or something, I don't know.
Of bald eagles in the world, thousands of them. They feast on a...
We couldn't find any of the people to actually like talk to, so... Yeah. But I saw an eagle. More excellent public domain music choices.
Skagway is the gold rush capital of Alaska, steeped in history. Skagway remains what it has been since the gold rush, a gateway to the Yukon. The intrepid visitor, greedier for adventure than for gold, hikes down Skagway's Broadway, reliving Alaska's late 19th century adventure. It looks like the backlot of a Hollywood film studio, but it's the real thing. You can check in at the Golden North Hotel with its landmark Onion Dome and resident ghost. This 1898 hotel is the oldest still operating in the state. With a history as rich as Skagway, the hotel has been restored to its gold rush glory. Each room is decorated with antique Victorian furniture and authentic memorabilia from Gold Rush families. Stampeders would appreciate a modern innovation, a brew pub. Skagway Brewing Company was established in 1897, then closed in Prohibition. Now its well-regarded ales quench the thirst of parched travelers. Historic buildings and a wooden boardwalk line Broadway. Corrington's Alaska Ivory is a gift shop and museum. On its walls, the historic pictures document the colorful history of Skagway. Visitors save their gold for shopping in Skagway, Alaska's best retail experience. The Red Onion Saloon also has its own ghost upstairs. This historic building is the Arctic Brotherhood Hall, with 20,000 pieces of driftwood ornamenting its facade. But brotherhood wasn't exactly what was brought out of folks yearning for gold. Lawless Skagway was a free-for-all. Rip-offs, cutthroats, shootouts. Graves were dug here, not gold. Jefferson Randolph Smith, alias Soapy Smith, robbed and cheated the miners. Soapy was the bad guy. Frank Reed, city engineer, was a good guy. He and Soapy killed each other in a shootout on the wharf. Both are buried at the Skagway Gold Rush Cemetery. It's just a short walk from the city. Frank got the big monument. Soapy got the fame. How could such things come to pass in a sweet little town like Skagway? That noble yellow metal, impervious to the ravages of time. Gold. Gold in the Klondike. In 1896, there was a strike in the Klondike. It took a year for the news to get out, but when it did, it spread like wildfire. By 1897, the Great Alaska Gold Rush was on. They say that 1 million planned to go, that 100,000 set off, and the 25,000 who made it were all certain they'd come back rich. They were nicknamed the Stampeders. Overnight, Skagway mushroomed from a tent settlement to a rip-roaring frontier town. So did its sister city and biggest rival, Dyea. 9 miles from Skagway, where mudflats edge the Lynn Canal and fields of iris bloom, there was another settlement, a rival gateway to the Yukon. Dyea's boom matched Skagway's. Eager seekers queued up and headed for the gold fields over the Chilkoot Pass. It was the shortest way, but fraught with danger. Some didn't make it. On Palm Sunday, 1898, there was an avalanche on the trail. 200 men and women were buried by it. 60 perished. Adventure seekers can tread in the steps of those gold-seeking stampeders, passing rusting bits of the gear they jettisoned along the way on the Chilkoot Trail. Even in summer, climbing this slope to the summit is punishing. The Chilkoot Trail cuts through Klondike Gold Rush National Historical Park, an international park, partly in Canada and partly in the United States of America. Hiking the 33 miles from Dyea to Lake Bennett takes 3 to 6 days. In the fierce winter of 1897, it was a frozen hell. Over 70 feet of snow fell that year, but the stampeders kept slogging, relaying supplies in 50 to 100-pound loads to make up the full 1 ton required of each of them by the Mounties on the Canadian side. Some plodded over 1,000 miles before reaching Lake Bennett. The biggest hurdle was climbing the golden stairs of the Chilkoot. It was surreal. Like fly specks on a wall of ice, each slogger was telling himself that this was the golden stairs to riches. The other start-off trail to the gold fields was the White Pass that begins in Skagway. Today you can trace that trail on the narrow-gauge White Pass and Yukon Railway. The old narrow-gauge train has been in operation since 1898. Steam trains pull the passengers to the outside of the city. where powerful diesel locomotives take over.
You could have a steam train or a powerful diesel locomotive.
For years, engine number 73 was the stalwart. It had the prized job of pulling the authentic passenger cars. Now, a restored engine number 40 shares those duties.
You skag hammer!
The railroad was built in just 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days. One crew began in Skagway and the other in Whitehorse, Canada. On July 28, 1900, the Golden Spike was driven. Exactly 100 years later, that event was reenacted at Carcross, Canada, just over the U.S. border, depicting the arrival of 2 steam engines, one from Whitehorse and the other Skagway. The original route covers over 100 miles to Whitehorse in the Yukon. Today, the route is open to Carcross, but most visitors travel to the summit of White Pass. When built, it had just 1 tunnel, but now there are 2. Amazingly, it was built by hand over some of the most rugged country in the world. At first, they said it couldn't be done. The grade is one of the steepest in the world. All the passenger cars are authentic and carefully maintained. The scenery today is spectacular, but in the 1890s, this was a trail of horror. The route up the White Pass was longer and less steep than its rival, the Chilkoot, so horses carried the load. When they could no longer work, they were rolled off the trail into what is called Dead Horse Gulch.
It's gonna get dark soon.
Also crossing the White Pass, running parallel to the railroad tracks, is the Klondike Highway. For those who pass on the railroad, the Skagway Tour Company takes tours up to White Pass Summit. On the way, view Pitchfork Falls, all 3,000 feet of it. Back in Skagway, White Pass and Yukon Railway Depot was once the heartbeat of Old Skagway. The Klondike Gold Rush National Historical Parks has carefully restored it. Now it serves as a visitor center. Skagway hosts more authentic Gold Rush buildings than any other city in Alaska. It's a treasure trove of history. Relish the experience of walking tours led by the National Park Service.
Skagway was a wild place. You could get anything in Skagway.
Down Broadway. On the left, the Renegade Saloon, original saloon and brothel. Gentlemen, the ladies...
Personalized motor coach tours and horse-drawn carriages.
Did you go to Skagway, Haley? Did you see Juneau and Skagway, and did you get the Grand Tour, or was it just Fairbanks?
At the Days of 98 melodrama, relive the wild times in Skagway. Soapy Smith comes alive in a show that has run since the 1920s.
I don't know how much Gold Rush history there is in the places where your family lived, but there's probably Gold Rush history everywhere.
No gold was found at Skagway, but at Liarsville Gold Rush Camp, the story is told, you can pan for gold and keep any you find.
I guess it is a 700-mile drive between Fairbanks and Skagway.
Replace the individual.
God, Alaska's big.
With these powerful machines, vast amounts of gold were stripped from the frozen land. Just as Skagway was a jumping-off point to the wilds in 1898, so it is today. Scenic flights to Glacier Bay are popular. Helicopter tours to the ice field are exciting. land on the glacier and go for a walk on ice older than Skagway.
This is called the crevasse, and these are formed due to glacial motion.
Then live an Alaskan tradition, a dog sled ride. Adventurers in the new millennium on the Gold Rush Trail return home with their own riches. Memories of the Inside Passage alive with Skagway's fabulous history. Incredible wildlife, friendly people, and the spectacular beauty of a land that grabs hold of the adventurous spirit of us all. Alaska's Inside Passage.
How inspiring. So I assume this is a double feature. Or not. I don't know. Did we get all this? I guess we got all this. We got the Soapy Smith story. We got the train. Well, okay. No, just some generic public domain music, and then a couple of good synthy songs at the end here. Gee. Well, that was fun, though. I thought it was going to be an hour. I'll be honest. I could be done now, but everyone's so excited to raid with Skagway as a raid message. Or, sorry, Skaghammer. That I feel like I should stick it out for another hour. Is there another tape y'all want to watch? Give me one that's an hour. No more, no less. Learn to Shag the Carolina Way. I don't know how long that one is. It could be like 30 minutes, or it could be 2 hours. We could watch Danny Gans again. Any tapes about cheese? I don't think so. Here, let me find something here. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna change my filters and sort by runtime, and then hit random until we get one that's 60 minutes. Signing made easy. How to talk to a person who can't hear. I don't want to do that right now. I want to do that later. Kathy Smith, time saver. Lift weights to lose weight. She's the one that did the pregnancy workout tape. Let's try another. NFL's greatest hits from Sports Illustrated. We just had MJ. Tommy Nelson, that's Christmas. Tai Chi. National Geographic video, Crocodiles, Here Be Dragons. Washington, D.C. is good. Is that... Yeah, let's do that. We need some America. And I mean, I guess we did just have a documentary about a place in America, but this I feel will be a different tone. Alaska is American. What are you talking about? I'll be right back. Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. A fine place full of fine people. From the air, it's easy to see how the branches of government are linked in Washington's design. Oh, great. We're going to learn all about the American government and how it functions. Because it does that all the time, functioning. That's its favorite thing to do.
It's gonna get dark soon.
Also, yeah, the tracking seems a little... I think it'll get better. I think it's better.
Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, is made possible
Perfect.
by a grant from Bell Atlantic, a major provider of telecommunications.
Oh, the sweet warm embrace of 1990s public television.
Technology that makes life easier. Bell Atlantic, the heart of communication. And by annual financial support from
Viewers like you. This is comforting. I love public media. I love the Potomac. I love the beautiful beaches of Washington,
America,
D.C.
A land blessed by nature. From surf-pounded shores to blizzard-whipped mountain spines, to canyons and cascades, towering cliffs, rolling
I love the
hills,
towering cliffs and mountain peaks of Washington, D.C.
More than 3,600,000 square miles of bewildering variety, heart-stopping beauty.
The beautiful sand dunes of Washington, D.C.
And all of this is overseen, guided, and governed from an old
By God.
city that also combines variety, beauty, and vigor. It cherishes the tangibles of nationhood, reminders of past struggles and triumphs, of giant steps forward, of deep unspoken pride. It is Washington, D.C., our nation's capital.
Unspoken is definitely the word to use for the deep sense of pride that Americans feel about their country. We're very humble about it. It's a very tacit feeling of patriotism that we express. We're real quiet about it. Listen, when you're the greatest country on earth, it's you have to talk about it. You would feel the same way if you were the greatest country on earth. Canada. But you're not. You're the second greatest. Actually, third. We like Mexico better now. I'm the one deciding these things. I would rather go to Mexico than Canada. Mexico seems more fun.
Dawn first touches the Washington Monument, then brings light to the grid of streets and the diagonal avenues of the nation's capital. As the sun rises, the city's
Listen,
monument
Mexico has Mexico City. Canada just has Pemberton.
with gold.
Would you rather go to Mexico City or Pemberton?
Dark patches become swales and pockets of greenery. And the most recognized symbol for all America, its ideals, turbulent history, and boundless hopes, also comes to life. The U.S. Capitol.
Oh, I just Googled Pemberton. It does look really nice. Holy shit. Those are some beautiful mountains.
The broad wings, tall colonnades, and looming domes.
I want to go to both Mexico City and Pemberton.
To every one of us, for this is it. This is Washington, the seat of our nation's government. The building itself showcases the drama of American history through the paintings of John Trumbull and by the work of Italian immigrant artist Constantino Bermudi, who decorated hallways and arches and risked his life painting the soaring murals.
My early American art hot take is that John Trumbull kind of sucks. Gilbert Stuart was a way better portraitist.
Plenty of human drama still rocks the grand old building, with senators and congressmen hammering out legislation, wheeling, dealing, and hewing as close to the party line as they can. And their voices blend with echoes from here in the old Senate chamber, where impassioned oratory of Daniel Webster and Henry Clay rang out long, long ago. Here in the main rotunda of the National Archives, sealed in helium under protective glass and armed sentry at their side, is where the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights are displayed. Seeing the actual manuscripts with occasional ink spots is a breath catcher for Americans, along with the indelible signature of John Hancock.
Hey, Will, thank you for
He was supposed to have said, for King George to
sledgehammer.
read it without his spectacles.
The skag hammer. Yes, true. We left Alaska and we're now in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital.
The nation's forefathers designed American democracy as a mighty triangle of power: the executive, the legislative, and this, the judicial branch.
Oh yeah, checks and balances.
Another sanctum.
That was a great idea.
Inside the Supreme Court building holds the 9 chairs where gowned justices give their judgments on matters that affect the governing of our nation.
It's a good thing the Supreme Court is incorruptible. It's kind of the linchpin of the whole thing.
Oratory, wisdom, and sometimes folly hold their court here. From Marbury versus Madison to Roe versus Wade, this is the America's most tangled questions concerning life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are ruled upon.
God damn it. 1994. Didn't think we'd be here in the 21st century, did you?
Enlighten the people, said Thomas Jefferson, and tyranny and oppression of the body and mind will vanish. The Library of Congress. This original building, the Jefferson Building, possesses the most glorious interior in all of Washington. Its ceilings and walls are adorned with the names and thoughts of the greatest writers through history. This is all America's library, welcoming not just Senate aides digging for research, but every one of us. There are some 100 million or so items of learning here, from which, magically, the bit of knowledge you seek will appear before you at one of the tables circling the main reading room. It was always a White House. But when first planned, some called it the Presidential Palace. After the British burned it in the War of 1812, it was rebuilt, refurbished, and became simply the White House. But the interior celebrates every hue of the palette. The Blue Room's color was President Van Buren's idea. Designed as one of the 5 White House reception rooms, it's probably the favorite of them all. The Green Room started as a small dining room for James Monroe, the first president to reoccupy the home after its rebuilding. The Red Room has been carefully maintained as a simple but spectacular state parlor. And the state dining room is where kings and queens have rubbed elbows and discreetly competed. "1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C. Easily the most famous address in all America. Serene and understated, this gentle temple houses the memorial to the most beleaguered, most reviled, most beloved American president, Abraham Lincoln. Rescuer of a shattered nation, here he sits in marble with his gaze upon us all, upon his capital.
Most beloved by some.
America. We're coming, Father Abraham, 600,000.
I would count him among my most beloved presidents.
In the Civil War.
Although I don't really love presidents.
Today, people come here by the millions, sometimes to protest, sometimes to preach.
I think he was Obama's favorite.
Stand beside Father Abraham and touch base with their nationality. The perfect pearl in the Capitol's tiara, the Jefferson Memorial. It's designed after one of his favorite buildings, the Pantheon. Architect, writer, inventor, president. Here, Thomas Jefferson stands tall amid his own writings, most notably from the Declaration of Independence.
Jefferson was a huge hypocrite, even in his own time, like not even with the benefit of modern values in hindsight.
At 555 feet, this was once the world's tallest tower. Then a French engineer named Eiffel built one in Paris that surpassed it by 400 feet. Still, the monument is a breathtaking sight. Started in 1848, its construction
He was undeniably very smart, though, and good at writing down how governments should be good.
In the 1870s.
And well-designed.
Visible from miles, the Washington Monument stands as an axis for the city's long vistas.
But yes, he was also full of a lot of hot air about how slavery was bad while he continued to perpetuate slavery, both personally and on a national level.
Freedom is celebrated over and over in every mural, statue, and inscription that adorns this city. The nucleus of democracy, Washington, D.C.
Learning about, geopolitics and world leaders in elementary school is very weird. When I was going through stuff from my mom's house, I might actually have it. I found a sock puppet that I made of Joseph Stalin in, second grade. And there was this paper I wrote about, my favorite world leader is Joseph Stalin. And it was because one of my favorite video games at the time was Command & Conquer 2 Red Alert, where they have cheesy FMV cutscenes. And Stalin is, the cool guy. I didn't really have any context for, his famine of Ukraine and killing everyone. It's not. Maybe I threw it away. I don't know. Yeah, it's not in that box. Okay, never mind.
Here rests Ben Burgess, a private of the 5th Division in World War I. And here in Arlington National Cemetery lie some 200,000 like him who, over the years, fought in their country's wars. The neat stones and endless phalanxes sweep through the peaceful glades of what was once the estate of Robert E. Lee. Some of his rebel soldiers lie here beside their old enemies, and a phrase from their touching epitaph explains quite perfectly why all these Americans have fought for their country, in simple obedience to duty as they understood it. Fort Washington. George Washington chose this site for a fortification to guard the Potomac.
Oh, God.
It was destroyed in the War of 1812
Let me put this up on stream.
rebuilt to protect the capital during the Civil War. Today, it's a public park, the perfect setting for a picnic by the river. Manassas, Virginia was a picnic ground in the summer of 1861 when Washingtonians in sporting fashion drove over these peaceful fields in their carriages to see the raw Union Army crush the Southern Rebellion. But here, at a creek called Bull Run, the Union troops fell in a horrifying and bloody defeat. No one could fathom the chaos and carnage that loomed ahead.
Oh yeah, the Civil War was
the Civil War.
The weird historical intersection between like fully automatic stationary machine guns mowing people down and that changing the face of war forever. And at the start of it, people being like, let's all go out and watch the war as spectators.
Vietnam too. Over 50,000 didn't get home. Here are their names, etched in marble, wedged into the earth and deep into the hearts of so many who come here. On a knoll across the Potomac, bronze Marines of World War II raised their flag in victory on the volcanic peak of Suribachi, high point of an island named Iwo Jima. Tall, straight, faceless, emotionless, immaculate in Army blue. The picked troops from the Old Guard do their sentry duty at Arlington's Tomb of the Unknowns. Here lie 4 servicemen, known but to God, who were killed in each of the wars dating back to 1917. Chosen at random, these unknown warriors accept their nation's honor on behalf of all the other thousands.
Yeah, I have the image pulled up in OBS. I'm just waiting for the... waiting until it's not a disrespect to the war dead to talk about it.
Whispered cadence of polished boots. Lest we forget, lest we forget. The Old Guard.
Okay, the Pentagon. Nothing bad ever happened there.
Regular Army
Haley shared this photo. This was apparently a kindergarten assignment that I wrote. If I met Abe Lincoln, I would tell him about computers. I think that's a good answer.
And nearby at Andrews,
Abe Lincoln would be so pleased
hours a day,
to learn about computers.
Its fighters are a first-line strike force, armed, fueled, ready to take off. Some 30 miles from Andrews at the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, 4,800 carefully selected young men and women trained to become commanders and leaders who will guide America's military might in the years ahead. The gravesite of John F. Kennedy, World War II hero, president. His eternal flame shimmers from the stone terrace of his grave, directly across the Potomac from the Washington Monument. People who see the flame are reminded not just of JFK and the great hope he brought to his short presidency, but of all the other American forefathers who asked nothing of their country, but gave it all they had. The city of Washington knew so many of them, but so too does every community in the United States. Simple American families who do their best with a sense of sacrifice and tolerance, integrity and honor. For all of them too, the flame glows. Washington, D.C. is endowed with some of the greatest collections and treasures in all America, many of which are under the domain of the Smithsonian Institution. The castle, as Washingtonians call it, is the Smithsonian's administrative heart. Its first secretary, Joseph Henry, lived here with his family in the 1860s, and the castle has since seen vast changes in the Washington landscape. Lincoln used to climb the highest tower where Dr. Henry experimented with meteorology, and the two would watch the Union Army troops experimenting with semaphores on the green. The only building protruding out into the grassy ribbon of the Washington Mall, the castle stands tallest amid the other Smithsonian museums. Each museum is an extraordinary experience and adventure, perhaps none so wild as the Museum of Natural History. Ever wondered what a Conestoga wagon looked like starting out for the Oregon Trail? In the Museum of American History, you can jump through a century of time with the turn of...
Hey, morning, Josh GT. I'm so sorry to tell you. We watched Michael Jordan's Playground, and I really regretted not waiting until you were around for it.
All the Arts and Industries building.
Because there was so much 1991 shit.
Antique locomotive. A Baldwin of the 1870s.
There was Lisa
Country.
and Cheryl Pepsi Riley.
The building itself is a celebration of lavish Victorian design.
And yes, it was very much like a promotional.
The country's first centennial exhibition.
It gave me Scholastic book vibes. It was just like
President Garfield's inaugural
a
ball
product
in 1881.
to sell us on the fact that Michael Jordan was a big-time Hollywood actor now, and he was so good at it. Also, Zack Snyder was the director of the video.
Each day,
And there were some great flat tops. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Washington National Airport.
Thank you for sending it in. You never miss, man. You never miss.
Passenger list head straight for one of the Smithsonian's most popular destinations, the Air and Space Museum. Here is the original Wright Flyer, hanging at just about the altitude it reached in 1903.
Anyway, now we're in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital,
Ancestors of today's airliners
learning about the healthy and successful functioning of the American government.
A brief 66 years from the first tottering step into the air, man made his giant leap for mankind when Armstrong and Aldrin stood on the moon. Looking at the craft that orbited, even hooked up in space, it seems a millennium of learning must have been crammed into this 20th century. The 20th century also is the milieu of the Smithsonian's Hirshhorn Gallery and Sculpture Garden. These sculptures broke from age-old traditions just as surely and just at the same time as mankind finally broke from the bounds of Earth. Auguste Rodin shattered the ceiling of acceptable art at the turn of the 20th century, and his contemporaries in sculpture and painting exuberantly defied the old rules, sending art leaping from the ground along with planes and spacecraft. Two Smithsonian galleries, the Museum of American Art and the National Portrait Gallery, are housed in Washington's old patent office in the heart of town. The Portrait Gallery is famous for its Hall of Presidents, from Washington to Reagan. 40 faces from over 200 years. George Bush will be added soon, and Clinton, too, in time.
And then that will be all the presidents. Maybe we'll get another Bush and maybe an Obama, and then that's it. That's the end of the line. Nothing more comes after that. I mean, I'm sure Sasha or Malia might grow up to make a good president, but as an American, I'm against the idea of hereditary presidents. We don't need another John Quincy Adams situation.
Added yet another jewel to its great collections and treasures, the National Gallery of Art.
But I guess, being a celebrity shouldn't make you the presidential material either, but here we are.
Millions of visitors move past these walls each year to view collections of famous European art, originally donated by millionaire and statesman Andrew Mellon. Mellon acquired much of this work when the Russian Revolution brought about the sale of the famed Hermitage Museum of Leningrad. It since has been augmented by the Kress, Widener, Rosenwald, and other collections, from early Italian religious art to French Impressionists. To Dutch and Flemish masters. Just another fountain away, thoroughly modern this time, is the National Gallery's East Wing. What a difference a few years make. No serenely classic structure this, but the sharp-angled, severe, fascinating work of architect I.M. Pei, a building that is itself a sculpture.
Yo, I.M. Pei. I'm pretty sure he did the art museum in Birmingham. Or no, he did the Kirkland Clinic in Birmingham.
Alexander Calder swings above the statuary of Britain's Henry Moore and other monarchs.
Which is in fact a really ugly building if you're experiencing it as a medical patient and not as like an architecture student.
Celebrate the 20th century with a nod to the 21st. Revealing, a little frightening, always exciting. The name Dumbarton Oaks means to most people a World War II meeting which resulted in the founding of the United Nations. It's hard to believe that this romantic garden with lush greenery and dainty blossoms could have been the site of anything so worldly. But President Franklin D. Roosevelt selected this 27-acre estate for the epochal meeting of statesmen simply because it is such a serene sight, escaping public notice. These truly are Washington, D.C.'s secret gardens. The National Building Museum offers a permanent exhibit of Washington's architecture, but the choicest display is the building itself. Designed
chunky-ass columns
by Civil War General Montgomery Meigs, its massive columns soar 76 feet to the ceiling, the tallest in the world. At one time, this was the largest indoor working space in the entire Capitol. 40 majestic rooms, 24 manicured acres, all magically in the midst of Washington, D.C. This is Hillwood, a mansion built in the roaring 20s by the serial heiress Marjorie Merriweather Post, and now said to be the greatest trove of Russian imperial art outside Russia itself. Every turn reveals paintings of czarists and czarinas. Fabergé eggs rest beside priceless icons, and diamonds, rubies, and emeralds add a brilliance beyond belief. Washington National Cathedral, surely one of the most beautiful in the world, rivaling Chartres in France. Nearly a century passed between the laying of its first cornerstone by President Theodore Roosevelt to the placing of the final embellishment in 1990.
It does seem kind of weird that we have a national cathedral.
While stone carvers shaped finials and sculptured ornate entrances, and glaziers assembled stained glass windows, services were held wherever a roof permitted.
It's an American cathedral of the Episcopal Church. Which, like, okay, aren't we supposed to not do that? Aren't we supposed to, like, not have the government pick one religion to be official? What are you gonna do? I don't know. It just smacks of Englishness to have a national cathedral that's Episcopal.
Its theological name is Cathedral Church of St. Peter and St. Paul, the seat of the local Episcopal diocese. But this is a national cathedral in every sense, welcoming all, memorializing the best of the nation.
Like, we don't need a place to do coronations. We don't do that here.
Infected still with such hopes, Americans rightly cherish the great monuments and mementos, symbols and treasures that define the country past and present. Ever in view, here they are kept for all to see, all to remember, in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Every April, a pink-tinged mist sweeps across the heart of Washington, D.C., transporting its people to a beautiful, hazy cloud, far from offices, traffic jams, even politics. The cherry blossoms are out, and the city comes to life on this most passionate of cues.
Bella, stop trying to make the U.S. a Canadian protectorate. Your poll is not gonna make that happen. We're not going back. We are not going back, Bella. This is a very good song. Ooh. Oh yeah.
Adams Morgan. The two names are those of two schools which were integrated in the 1950s. The integration of the neighborhood followed, and it flourishes today as the most colorful stretch of ethnic restaurants and storefronts in the entire city.
Look at all those people that don't get any federal representation enjoying their neighborhood.
The colors here are fashioned by the hand of nature. Every spring, Rock Creek Park takes on its foliage and becomes a vast wilderness in the midst of the city. Teddy Roosevelt used to swim here. In Washington's youth, markets were the only places to shop for fresh food. The city had many of them. The National Archives is built on the site of one. Now, only Eastern Market survives as one of the few open-air establishments for fresh produce. Not far from the Capitol itself, residents and congressmen alike have been convening here each weekend since 1802. And along the shore of the Potomac, the eastern seaboard's best catch of the day, some still trying to get away, can be found at Washington's Fish Market. Washington is a university town many times over. Georgetown is America's oldest Roman Catholic university, founded by John Carroll of Maryland's most eminent Catholic family.
I went to John Carroll Catholic High School.
Schools, its foreign service program, and its slender spires stabbing the sky above the Potomac.
Which in Alabama, which I guess was named after John Carroll for some reason.
Howard was founded right after the Civil War by a one-armed Union general, Oliver O. Howard. Though it welcomes all comers, Howard remains predominantly Afro-American.
Predominantly for people with one arm.
The painted dome on the National Shrine of the Immaculate Conception marks Catholic University, famed for its drama school. Not far away is Gallaudet, the world's only university devoted to hearing-impaired students.
Calling them hearing impaired. It's 1994.
The old post office with Ben Franklin's statue in front of it. Once destined for demolition, Congress realized it would cost more to raise the building than to restore it. Judging by its popularity today, perhaps that was one of their wiser acts historically.
Typically, you would call someone, deaf or hard of hearing. I think the key point is that, like, deaf is not a bad word. It's like I grew up in the 90s in Alabama where people would, like, really go out of their way to avoid
Give way to invading darkness.
mentioning someone's ethnicity.
Around the capital. Its temples, monuments, and landmarks.
They would be like, oh, that person, they're
set against the black
they
velvet.
have a darker complexion. They're like, oh yeah, that family at church, they're Mexican. It's like Mexican isn't a bad word. But yeah, as with anything, like, it's all down to how people self-identify, and so you should ask them if in doubt.
Just lay down your tracks. You could have an airplane flying if you bring your blue sky back. All you do is call me. I'll be anything you need. You could have a Big Dipper going up and down all around the bends. You could have a thunder car bumping. There's amusement never ends. I wanna be your sky hammer. Why don't you call my name? Oh, let me be your sky hammer. This will be my testimony. Show me around your fruit cage. 'Cause I will be your honeybee. Open up your fruit cage. Where that fruit is sweet as can be. I wanna be your sledgehammer. Why don't you call my name? You better call the sledgehammer. This will be my testimony. I'm your sledgehammer. Let there be no doubt about it. Sledge,
A shakuhachi. That's what the flute is called. I always forget that. Shakuhachi. Although it was a synth sample on this track.
shed my skin. Shed my skin. This is the new stuff. This is the new stuff. I go dancing. We go dancing. Do show for me. Show for me. I will show for you. Show for you. Show for me. Show for me. I will show for you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Show for me. Oh, you be coming through. I'm gonna feel that power. A little bit of that power. Come on, help me through. Come on, help me I'll be feeling the rhythm. I'll be feeling the rhythm.
The land surrounding Washington, D.C. is gentle, lazy, and lush. Back in 1632, early explorer Henry Fleet predicted the rise of a great city here along the Potomac. Writing in his log, "This place, without question, is the most pleasant and healthful in the country, and the most convenient for habitation." Only Great Falls breaks the serenity of the landscape where water moves with such ferocity, even the shores are said to tremble.
Such stirring music.
30 miles from Washington, near the Chesapeake Bay, stands Annapolis, Maryland, where scores of 18th century houses are still in use. The domed state capitol once served as the national capital in the pre-Washington city days.
Just go to Baltimore.
On his way home to Mount Vernon on the Potomac, ex-General George Washington passed through Alexandria, Virginia. It was his town, its taverns, apothecary shops, and waterfront warehouses ever at his disposal while he was the squire of his acres. Alexandria has so carefully preserved its old town that George Washington still would be able to find his way around, were he to revisit his old haunts today.
We would have to tell him about computers, though. Really get him up to speed. What a meandering end to this tape.
No one could live in this city without absorbing with every breath its past story, a grand and dramatic saga, and its always contentious hopes for a future. Ideals still survive in the nation's capital. They get twisted, battered, and bent, but the whole presence of this city, the loom of its monumental buildings and memorials to truly great dreamers, doers, and leaders, lies over every shoulder in Washington, D.C., reminding every soul that the United States is supposed to be great and good. And it will be. It will be.
It will be again. It could be. I don't think we went to the zoo, no. I do love, getting VHS footage of the cherry blossoms. Okay, so NHK Tokyo was involved in this production. KCTS and NHK. Neat.
This is PBS.
That was PBS. Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. My favorite part was where they showed the Supreme Court building, and they were like, monumental decisions, like the Dred Scott case and Roe versus Wade were decided here, settled for all time. It only hurts a little. 1994, Washington, D.C. Yeah, I liked the tasteful inclusion of Peter Gabriel's sledgehammer right at the end of the tape there. They really worked that in seamlessly to the narrative. Hey, 11 months. Good Lord. Thank you, Vagabond. All right, well, there's no one online to raid as of yet, so perhaps Skaghammer is a bust after all. Oh, man. That's a shame. Let's see. As I mentioned last stream, this Saturday, God, those shelves look so sad and empty. This Saturday, I will be out of town, so there will be no Golden VCR stream on Saturday. Have fun without me. And I should be back here on Monday. Yeah, go get a snack. What did we learn anyway? We had children's programming. Did you learn any life lessons from YTV? We learned that Michael Jordan is a very competent and professional actor who is ready for the big time. You can draw the direct thread between this promotional effort and his later appearance in Space Jam. And then we had Alaska in America, so that's all very nice. Oh, Treehouse and YTV are different things. Bella, you're not allowed to take Alaska. You can't have it. It's not yours. You don't even live there. What are you gonna do with the whole ass Alaska? Okay, I'm gonna end the stream here with bells and whistles. If there is no one to raid, then we won't. By the end of bells and whistles, then we're calling it. I have no idea. Perhaps he's not. But if he is, go watch him whenever that happens. Hooray. Well, thank you for being here, everybody. I will see you next time. I gotta go. Bye. Enjoy whatever stream may or may not happen later. See you Monday. Keep the spirit of Skaghammer in your hearts.